Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, affirmers. So excited to see everyone here. Look at those beautiful ladies that's on set with me right now. Look at them. And you guys see an extra person on stage with us today, and I will introduce him shortly. But I just want to say thank you all for continuing to listen and share your comments on YouTube with us. I'm so happy. Our numbers are looking amazing. We have exceeded over 10,000 views. We have exceeded over 10,000 views, and I cannot tell you how excited that makes us here at the AM Affirmation Space. So, thank you, affirmers, for continuing to support us. We are here today with a very special guest, someone I've known for quite a few years, and I'm so excited to have him on with us. But before I get to him, I want to introduce my co host, the beautiful, the amazing, the fabulous Miss Marcy of Marcy Moments. She can be found on Instagram, sharing her nuggets just about every day of life, how to get through life, how to do life well. So make sure you follow her. She's also on Thursday Therapy on Facebook with Ty McAllister, is it?
Tyrese McAllister and Jamie
Yes, Tyrese
Tyler.
McAllister, who is an advocate for no violence because she lost a loved one through violence. So make sure you join Miss Marcy on that show because it is one that we need to hear about more in our communities of therapy. We also have with us, as usual, Miss Clivia Allen of hashtag Her Chosen Story and Chosen 31 Essentials. I never remember which one, but Clivia, thank you so much for being here. She's an editor, she's a publisher, she's a mom, she is a leader. She has a beautiful women's community that you can join. So make sure you join her on all of the platforms she can be found. And of course, my name is Karon Fairweather, also known as the Affirmation Whisperer, soon to be known as the creator of the community, Boldly Becoming Her. You'll hear more about that in the coming days. And with all that being said, I want to now introduce our special guest. Our special guest is Dr. Terrence Brown, Reverend Dr. Terrence Brown. He is a certified strategic business and life coach, but more than that, you all, he is an amazing person. He is an amazing individual that I've had the pleasure. Yeah, you. I, I've had the pleasure of knowing him for a few years now, and when I tell y'all, yeah, I'm glad I'm one of his friends. I've done a lot with Gray. We used to be in this other space together a lot, and we've shared so much on so many levels. I've learned so much about him. He's learned so much about me and others that were in the space, and I'm grateful to have him on the show today. So, with that being said, without further ado, Dr. Brown, Reverend Dr. Brown, can you come on and tell us a little bit about you before we get into your
You.
what are we going to do? We're going to do an investigation of you today. That's what we're going to do.
All right. Okay. Well. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. As it's already been said, I'm Doctor. Well, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give it. Put some sauce on it. I'm Reverend Doctor Terrence Gray Brown. You can just call me Gray. Coach, consultant, creator, and a man who's lived enough life to tell the truth without dressing it up. Yep. I
Well,
come from. I guess I'd be considered Generation X. You know, resilience has never been optional. Purpose wasn't about being a hashtag, and you learn early that nobody can save you, nobody's coming to save you.
Right.
So you have to find your own power. And see, over the years I've built businesses, guided leaders, raised kids, reinvented myself more than once. And ultimately I learned how to turn every setback into a blueprint for the next evolution.
Beautiful.
wonderful. Love that answer. Love that answer. So before we really get into it, though, Dr. Gray, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. And the first one I would like to know is before you became who you are today, what helped to shape you into the person you are today? Actually, is how I want to ask that question.
Hmm. tricky one. What helped to shape me into the person that I am today?
Yes.
Hmm.
Anything
So many
specific?
things.
Maybe a few
You know,
incidences.
honestly, it wasn't one thing. It was a combination of life hitting me, life teaching me, and life revealing me. And I was shaped by responsibility early. Early, I became a father pretty young. I was 19 years old, and that shifted my entire understanding of what it means to show up. Um, Being responsible for another human being, it forces you to grow up, right? It forces you to grow up faster than you ever planned. You're thinking about college one minute, the next minute you're trying to figure out how to buy diapers, and that ultimately it unlocks a deeper sense of purpose that you never knew you had. Um, I was also shaped by struggle, not in the romanticized way, but in the real way.
Mm.
The losses, the failures, the I thought this was it moments, and then they fell apart. You know, those seasons taught me resilience, um, humility. That's a good word for today is humility,
Mm.
and the ability to rebuild myself from the ground up without losing the core of who I am.
Understood. That's a great answer. Thank you. Today, the reason why we're having you on today for this particular recording, because when we air this, it will be International Men's Day. International Men's Day. Now, we know we have
Mm.
Father's Day and all these other days, but it being International Men's Day, we
I
thought
didn't know Men's Day existed, Karen.
it does. It does. I found it.
I didn't know,
I found it. It's on.
and I'm a man, and we didn't get the memo.
Well, I'm sharing this right here. So share, spread the
You heard it
word.
first here.
Exactly.
You heard it here first, right? Right. I did.
Exactly.
I was today years old.
International Men's Day, recognizing men all over the world, but right now we're recognizing you. And hearing that we have you here as part of our acknowledgement of International Men's Day, and you're hearing it for the first time. Tell me, what does that mean to you? How does that impact you, knowing that one, there is a day that acknowledges men, men specifically, all by yourself, and because you are a mentor, because you are a leader, because you are a coach, how can you further carry this on the International Men's Day? How can you make sure that this continues International Men's Day?
Uh, wow, that's a lot of weight, Karen. Like I single-handedly.
Well,
Um,
just tell me, what does it mean to you first, and then you can carry the weight of it.
well, hearing about it, first time today, I would say that for me, International Men's Day. If I had to imagine it, it wouldn't necessarily be a holiday
Mhm.
because clearly, if it was a holiday, we would know about it. Um, we'll call it a checkpoint. We'll call it a reminder that as men, we're responsible for the energy we put into the world.
Mm.
And because I'm a mentor, a leader, and a coach, I do take that responsibility personally.
Yeah.
You know, the way that I can carry this forward is simple. I can stay consistent with the work. Not performative in it by any means. I think that I should be focused on it being
Right.
transformational.
Yeah.
Um, it should. I gotta keep having the real conversations that most men were never really given permission to have.
Love that answer. And I know with you hearing it for the first time
The
today.
emotion. Ooh. The emotional ones.
Ooh.
Are we gonna cry today? Are we gonna? Are we gonna?
Listen, on this show,
The I
We'll
think the
talk
emotional.
about
possible to happen.
it. We'll talk about it for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Please,
we'll talk about it.
please talk about
But then you gotta be willing to have the spiritual
Yeah.
conversations, the accountability
Mm-hmm.
conversations,
Mm-hmm.
the it's and amongst men, you gotta be willing to have those bro you're hurting and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Conversations like you're in pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, Doc, I got some more questions for you, but I'm gonna yield the floor to Cliffy for right now, and I'll come back with my questions later.
Yeah, I am enjoying this. And, just to kind of piggyback, when Karen, you introduced me, you was like, well, I don't even know what she does right now. But in regards to hashtag her story, I open a space for men to talk about things like this, right? So I'm so happy that we have Dr. Gray here tonight, to talk about the emotional intelligence, the purpose, and how do we start from a 19-year-old father and then sitting here with this gentleman, right? And basing it off of being chosen to do this, the work that you've done with other leaders and entrepreneurs, what's one lesson that you can probably think of that, let's say, that's overlooked in regards to building purpose? What do men today, even young men today, overlook when it comes to those lessons that help us walk in our purpose? That makes sense.
Let me make sure I heard you correctly. What do young men today overlook? What was the rest of it? I'm sorry. It was
So
kind of chopping out a little bit.
what's one lesson you've learned about purpose that most men today overlook?
Okay. What's one lesson that I learned about purpose
Hmm.
through whatever it is I've been through that most men today would overlook? Is that right?
Yep, you got it.
Hmm. Hmm. Lesson. One lesson. What's one lesson what's one lesson? Ah. One lesson I learned. Purpose is revealed through your breaking points,
Mm, that's good.
not your highlight reel.
That's good.
See, what happens is most men run from the hard seasons. We don't really want to deal with it. We run from the heartbreak. We run from the losses. We run from the failures. Um, and I don't think we realize that that's where the direction is hiding. You know, my toughest my toughest moments taught me who I really am. They taught me what I'm built for. They taught me what I'm here to do.
Yeah,
And ultimately purpose shows up when life humbles you.
yeah,
So if you haven't been through anything,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
there's no real way for you to tell anybody what your purpose is.
yeah.
And if you avoid the pain in life, if you run from the pain, then you
Preach,
miss the
Doc.
assignment.
Preach, Doc. Preach.
And it's good to hear this from a man's point of view, because we've talked about it amongst ourselves on the affirmation space, where from our point of view, we said, thank you for the pain. Thank you for the past. We had to let go of these things to now walk in our purpose. So to hear you
Mm-hmm.
say that, it's possible to do the same thing as a man, but you have to let go of that ego and that pride and just appreciate the pain so that you can find that purpose. So that,
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love
It's
it.
really the only way you can do it right.
Yeah.
That's the instruction manual. Like you know, how do you know what you're supposed to be doing if you haven't done it wrong? Like you got to see where your missteps are, and you have to be introspective enough to be willing to look at yourself and say, I don't think I got that right. And then you
Mm.
have to be willing to hold yourself accountable.
Now, what if you, as a coach, as a life coach, you're sitting with a man? How do you now empathize or make them self aware when it comes to that? Men are tough. Men don't show that emotional side. Or how does that look for you in a session?
How do I empathize with tough men in a session? Tough guy. Okay. Let's see. How do I empathize with? For me, empathizing with tough men,
Hmm.
it starts with recognizing why they're tough in the first place.
Mm.
See, most men aren't hard because they want to be. They don't want to be hard. They're hard because life forced them to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I can't push the emotion out of them.
Yeah.
I can't. I try to create a space where they don't feel punished for having it. You know, in a session, I meet them where they are. I speak their language as best I can. Sometimes, depending on their house of origin and all the different things that they're dealing with, I may not have experienced that. I didn't really grow up rough.
Right.
Yeah.
so so
Yeah.
so I have to acknowledge that as well. I have to acknowledge the weight that they've been carrying without
Mm-hmm.
making them feel weak for carrying it.
Right.
Um, I gotta ask as many questions as possible. I have to ask the questions that cut through the armor without attacking that man.
True.
Like what happened to you that made you think you could handle everything alone?
That's good.
Who told you that feeling something makes you less of a man?
Right.
Those kind of questions are there. It's imperative to get to the root of it.
Mm.
And then once they realize that I'm not judging them, that I'm talking to them, I'm not talking down to them, and I'm not trying to fix them, just understand them, then that's when they open up.
Mm.
As I've learned, tough men don't need softness from another man.
Right.
They just need to feel safe. They need safe
Mm-hmm.
strength.
Yeah.
And they need another man who gets it, who, even if they haven't been through it, can empathize with what it is that men go through without holding and cannot hold the space without flinching. And when you tell me something's rough,
Right.
I mean, that's how I do it. I don't break their walls. I make them feel safe enough to put their walls down themselves.
I love that. And it reminds me even of the movie The Forge. I think it came out either 2024, maybe early this
Mm-hmm.
year. Thinking of
Yeah,
that.
I got a sword.
There you go. So that was my follow question, and then I'll pass it on to Marcy in regards to what routines or practices do you use either for yourself to keep centered? Do you hold up that sword and have a community of men with you? Do you have support? And how do you show that again to those men? And what's the youngest that you've been able to exemplify
Mm.
that strength? And again, how to be centered? Because I have a 14-year-old and I know he needs that type of conversation now. He needed it before, but now he needs it because he's in high
Mm-hmm.
school and life is lifing. So how do you keep yourself centered? Do you have a support system helping you hold that sword up? And I'll pass it on to Marcy after you answer.
That's a good question.
I love it.
How? Well, for me, staying centered is a daily discipline. It's never by accident. I start with stillness, prayer, meditation, breathing, and getting quiet enough to hear myself before the world starts talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I try to keep my spirit aligned and my mind steady. And yes, yes, I absolutely have men around me who help me
Right.
hold the sword up, as you said. But I as much as I'm willing to turn to those men, I be honest with you, I don't necessarily rely on them.
Right.
Ultimately, they got their own burdens to carry. They have their own sword. But I do believe that strong men need strong men around. So I do keep a circle of brothers around me who tell me the truth, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
They challenge me, they pray with me, and they check in when I drift. And I'm an Aquarius. I'll drift on you in a heartbeat. You'll be looking around like, where did Gray go? Gray ain't around. Gray is quiet. He quiet somewhere.
Okay.
And so, I have to remember that leadership doesn't mean standing alone.
Right.
It means standing aligned. And you have to align yourself with people who are driven by their purpose as well, or else you get distracted. I also try to show that same strength to the men I coach by being transparent. Not necessarily perfect, but transparent.
Yeah.
I let them see that I have emotions that I carry, but then I tend to handle it with intention instead of denial. I don't disrespect the mask. Hold on, wait a minute. My phone is trying to die on me. I don't want to do that. I like y'all, and I want to stay connected to the people. Let me just make sure that the thing is doing what. All right, the cord wasn't connected. Um, what was I saying? The mask, yes, and
Yeah.
and typically the people, the men I'm talking to, they respect that discipline, because it's not necessarily easy to do, and it's something that I had to kind of lean into,
Mhm.
um, begrudgingly. And as for the question about the youngest, hmm, I would say that I've modeled this as early as 5 years old with my own son,
See.
and
Okay.
now I have a couple of teens that I mentor that are as young as 13, 14.
Okay.
Um, young men don't need lectures.
Right.
They don't. And I think oftentimes we've been filled with so much information that's our first
Mm-hmm.
inclination is just to
Mm-hmm.
talk to you
Mm-hmm.
till you fall asleep. You either gonna fall asleep, or you're gonna never want to hear my voice again. So you're just gonna do what it is you're supposed to do, so you don't have to hear me talk. And how many times have you said, I just don't want to hear your mouth?
Mhm.
That they don't need lectures. They
Yeah.
need they need language for what they feel. They need an example of what controlled power looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to teach them how to breathe through their anger, how to name what they
Yeah.
feel, and how to
That's good.
separate their emotions from their identity.
Right.
So, to recap, how do I stay centered? I try to have a routine. I try to have reflection. I try to connect with my brothers as much as possible. And I try to be the example and not the exception. Um, Unfortunately, sometimes I find that I'm the exception. Everybody's not rolling that way.
Yeah.
But that's how I carry it, and then I just continue to try to pass it on, each one teach one.
That's good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Gray, mine's are so much
Marcy, what you
easier.
got, Marcy?
Mine's are so much easier, Gray.
Lord, what
So,
can is it possible?
so listen, um, one of our favorite themes on this show is power of words. Now, how important is it for self-talk for men, and how do you encourage them to change their inner dialogue?
Hmm. Well, self-talk is everything. It's everything. I talk to myself all the time. People think I'm crazy.
Listen, I just told somebody I'm the best conversation I've ever had.
That's right. That's right. All the time. Mine is if I want to have an intelligent conversation, I have to talk to myself.
I love it.
Hello, hello. Thank you.
Uh but seriously, the words a man uses on himself become the instructions his life follows.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
good.
mean, you cannot build a powerful life off a weak inner dialogue. You can't do it. And most men don't realize they speak to themselves in ways that they never speak to their own son.
Hmm.
You would never some of the stuff we say to ourselves, we would never say to our own kids. We just wouldn't. And I think that's the problem. And so I try to tell men all the time that your power words shape your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Your language ultimately is what becomes your lifestyle. Y'all know I like to manifest stuff. I I got a partner right now. We had a meeting scheduled for today. It was scheduled for 12 o'clock, and I got on the phone with him about 11:15, and he started talking about how I don't know if this guy gonna show up, and I just like shut up, like right in the middle of the call. I was like, man, if you don't shut your mouth, And sure enough, what happens? The guy doesn't show up. Something came up. And I was like, I haven't been saying anything contrary to exactly what I want to see.
Exactly. Yep.
And you out here talking crazy. I don't want him to not show up. Why would you say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And really what I said to him was, you don't want him to not show up. So why would you say that? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why wouldn't you say exactly what it is you want to see the outcome to be? Say that. Only say that at all
Only.
times.
Yeah.
So I think
right.
ultimately, I was. Am I done? You don't want the rest of my answer?
No,
I
no,
give it
what's
to you.
the
'Cause I
rest
could
of
talk.
Stop playing.
I host a podcast by myself. I could talk.
Stop playing, Dr. Gray.
I don't even be having guests on my show. I just be talking to myself.
Because you're the best conversation you ever had. But
I'm just saying, you think about it. When a man call himself broken, what happened? You get a broken dude.
Right.
Absolutely.
When he walk around talking about I'm stupid, I'm not enough, I'm a failure,
Yep.
he programming himself, right?
Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
programming himself. So
Mm-hmm.
I teach men to upgrade their language.
I have a quick example, and it happened literally just today. My manager, it's a transportation company, and we have an issue with Amazon. We have a contract with them, and he's like, Amazon is killing me. They're killing
Oh,
me. And I'm like,
oh,
yeah. If you go outside and God forbid an Amazon truck pass by and you get hit,
run you over.
exactly,
Runs you over.
will kill you. So there's so much power in our words. He's like, Miss Allen,
Absolutely.
you're right, Miss Allen.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, come on now.
Look, I was having the same similar conversation with my mom, who called me this morning to tell me. She said, well, one of my nephews is gonna be home. I said, hold on. I said, hold on. What did you just say? Now this is a woman of faith who gets up every morning, pray for about 1,000 people, but yet you're telling me my nephew's going to be what? I said, no, ma'am. I said, we are not having that kind of conversation. I said, he will be in a place to live. May not be exactly what he wants, but he will have shelter. He will have a
That's
place to
right.
live, lay his
That
head,
part.
and he will be in a
That
place of
part.
safety. I said, we don't say that. She said, you know what? Thank you for getting your mama straight. I'm like, what? I said, hold on. What are we doing today? Get off my phone with that foolishness, woman.
I
You
mean, you
just
think
need to
about it.
add.
That you got to think about it. We do create our own scenario, because if
We
that's
do.
what we see. You used a phrase that gets used a lot. I think it gets overused a little bit. You said woman of faith. What you believe in? What are you having faith for?
Exactly.
You believe Amazon is killing you, or do you believe that everything's gonna work itself out exactly the way it's supposed to?
So, say
Right.
that. Say that.
I did a whole episode on my podcast that said faith and doubt are both belief.
They are.
True.
It's just,
Yeah.
what are you believing for?
Mm-hmm.
So
Both of
you
them.
might be a woman of faith, but you might have faith that everything's gonna fall apart.
And that's exactly the vein she was coming from. Exactly the vein she was coming from.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm.
Sorry, Marcy. I just needed to add that little piece in there.
Me too. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's
So
good
are
pieces.
are you finished with that statement, Dr. Gray? Because I dare not cut you off again.
I mean, I'm fine.
Oh,
I'm messing around and go. Look, I might be up here talking about. I'm a wrap up. Let me finish up, Lord.
Reverend, Reverend Doctor.
Don't get me started preaching.
Okay, Reverend Doctor. Now, look, if you could go back and speak to your younger self, the version of Gray before all the titles and the success, what would you say to him?
Oh,
Before
my Lord.
Reverend Doctor.
What I say to him? Forward.
Before Reverend Doctor. Okay.
That's a tough question, Marcy. I mean, when I heard it before the show started, I don't know. Like, I would tell him to run, run away.
Run away from all of this wonderfulness.
Do not mess with that girl. Um, gosh. I,
You would have been singing Heartbreak Hotel.
well, I probably, Marcy, give me the question again. Let me get the exact question. What was the question again?
So, if you could go back and speak to your younger self, the version of Gray before all the titles and success, what would you say to him?
Um, I would tell him, you don't have to rush to become anything. You're already enough. You just need time to grow into who you are.
Becoming him.
I tell him to stop confusing achievement with identity. Your value is not in what you do, it's in who you are.
That's good.
I probably tell him to stop trying to earn worth through performance. I probably tell him to stop carrying everybody else's expectations like their commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I would remind him that purpose isn't out there somewhere. It's already in him.
Mm-hmm.
Every hard moment, every mistake, every heartbreak, every waterhead little girl is going to shape him and not break him.
Amen.
And I probably tell him to trust his intuition.
He should have ran.
It was accurate, even when it wasn't even when it wasn't, his confidence wasn't right. Like you knew better, young man. Don't go in there. But honestly, all jokes aside, most of all, I'd say you're not behind.
Yeah.
You're being prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to stay aligned. You got to stay focused. You got to stop shrinking to make people feel comfortable, because your future is bigger than your fears.
That's good.
I mean,
Love
that's what
that.
I needed to hear. That's what I needed to hear. Ain't nobody say that to me.
And that's, you know what, and I'm so grateful that you're here to pour into the divine masculine, because that's what you needed to hear, and now that's what others are hearing from you. So we thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes. One more question, and this one's real easy.
One more question.
One more. Then I'll
Shoot.
turn it back to Kron. Now, how do you personally navigate moments when doubt or discouragement tries to creep in?
How do I process moments of doubt? What?
And
You chopped up a little bit. What?
I'm sorry. When doubt and you're not encouraged, when that tries to creep in.
How do I navigate moments of doubt and discouragement?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, how do I navigate moments of doubt and discouragement? Well, when when doubt or discouragement hit, I don't run from it. No, I sit with it. I treat doubt like it's data. It's not there to destroy me. Ultimately, it's there to show me where I'm out of alignment, right? So the first thing I do is I get quiet, like I said before. I pull back, I breathe, I reset. Ultimately, stillness is my medicine. I was watching a comedian the other day, and he said that in relationships, women want happiness and men want peace. And peace comes from nothing.
Right.
Like you ever been with somebody and you dating them, you walk in the room, you see them smiling, and they all just they nothing going on in the room. They just sitting there smiling. And you look at them and you don't say he look happy, I'm gonna leave him alone. No, what ultimately you say is,
Yeah.
what's he smiling about?
Yeah.
It better be me. It better be me. What you smiling about? Well, I gotta find that still quiet place where I'm not, where there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it's just me. And then I check the story I'm telling myself, right? Because ultimately most discouragement doesn't come from the situation. It comes from the narrative we create around it. If we tell, like, you're gonna lie to yourself, it has never, none of it's happened. So you're gonna tell yourself a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
either gonna tell yourself it's horrible, oh my God, it's gonna be the most terrible thing ever, or you're gonna tell yourself the opposite. But either way, you
Yeah.
don't know what it's gonna be because it hasn't happened yet. So you're lying to yourself anyway. Why not tell yourself a lie that you like? A lie that makes you feel good.
So that's you're rewriting the narrative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then so I confront the lie, I replace it with a new version of the lie, which ultimately is my truth because that's what I decided it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm really manifesting the situation, then whatever I say it is what it is. Then I have to believe that, right? And ultimately I bring my mindset back to center, and then I lean on my circle. I talk to my guys. I try not to isolate because that's my natural inclination.
Mm-hmm.
I have my brothers, my mentors, my spiritual anchors for a reason. They remind me of who I am when my emotions make me forget.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing, I remember my track record. I've survived everything life has thrown at me. Every single thing life has thrown at me, I've survived it.
Yeah.
It's like, but did you die? No, I'm here,
Exactly.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
so doubt doesn't disqualify me
Mm-hmm.
because it just means I'm stretching. Like I'm doubting, but I know I've beaten everything else. That means I'm stretching right now. It doesn't mean that
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of the game. I'm just not sure because I
Yeah.
haven't experienced this yet. But
Yeah.
everything else I've experienced, I had it. So how do I handle it? Stillness, truth, community, and memory. That's ultimately how I steady myself. That's how I keep moving.
Love it.
I love that, Dr. Gray. So much of what you said today, we've had in other conversations that we have here at the AM Affirmation Space, and I find it quite intriguing of how the very same challenges, I'll say, that we as women have are experienced by men too, that we don't often think about. We don't often consider that men have the same challenges from a different perspective, but it's still the same challenge. And hearing how you navigate your challenges and how you remind yourself, you just said that you remind yourself, this, I've been victorious in many other things. This is just something I've never done before. It's just brand new. And we talked about this in other conversations. I'm like, the more I'm listening, I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm like, wow, we've said the same thing about our journey as women
Yeah.
in this world and as Black women particularly. And to hear you say almost the exact same thing we've said, it reminds me, I'll say, is that just because it's a challenge for me doesn't mean it's not a challenge for you as a Black man. As a man, you too have these challenges that you have to circumvent in a way that serves you best. And I'm very intrigued by this, to hear this conversation. So we got to have you back for another conversation, Dr. Gray. We got another conversation because
Oh, anytime.
yes,
Anytime.
absolutely, absolutely. So here we talk about thriving, not just surviving, thriving. For Reverend Dr. Gray, what is thriving for you?
Wow, what is thriving? That's See, y'all making me work today. Okay. All right. All right then. We gonna work today. All right. What is thriving for me?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Thriving isn't just living. It's living aligned, being in alignment. Um, it's when your mind is clear, when your emotions are stable, gotta be stable emotionally, and your spirit is grounded. All your actions
Mm,
have to match your purpose. Thriving is peace with direction. It's growth without losing yourself.
mm.
It's waking up knowing you're not just surviving the world, you're shaping it.
Yeah, that's good.
And for me, thriving is when the man I am on the inside finally matches the life I'm building on the outside.
Love that.
Since you
Love
asked.
that. So you know what, Dr. Gray, I'm going to say this is the first time I'm very happy the questions we have are stomping you a little bit.
A little
I'm
bit.
just gonna- a little bit.
A little bit.
So
I'll stop. I'm stopping to think about it. You see me? I'm looking off to the left. I'm like, what is this? What's the answer to this one? Help me. Help me, God.
I'm so
God,
excited over this.
please. Hold, fill my lungs with your answers so I can breathe them out. Help me, Lord.
Oh my gosh. Okay, okay, okay. So peace and purpose and ambition. How can they be cultivated? Peace, purpose, and
She's
ambition.
still
How
asking me
can they?
hard questions. What is she doing right now? Peace, purpose, and ambition. How can they be cultivated?
Yes.
I don't know that they can. Peace. Let me think. Peace, purpose, and ambition. How can they be cultivated? How
Mm-hmm.
can they be cultivated?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, let me ask it differently.
See, I just told you to fill my lungs with the
Wait,
answer,
let me
Lord.
ask, wait, let me. Okay, how can so? Well, let's say it this way: how can you cultivate peace while you're pursuing purpose, while you're
Oh,
fulfilling your
wait,
purpose and
you're
pursuing?
doing the choppy thing. It's doing the choppy thing. I'm sorry, Karan. You started sounding like I couldn't hear you.
Still,
Hold on. Uh, Say it again.
okay. How can you cultivate peace while still pursuing purpose and ambition?
How can I cultivate how can I cultivate peace while still pursuing purpose and ambition?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Um, well, okay. I would say I cultivate peace by staying aligned while I'm moving
Mm-hmm.
because peace isn't the absence of motion,
Right.
right? Just
Right.
it's just the absence of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when I'm chasing purpose and ambition, I try to keep my spirit steady,
Okay.
and I do that by grounding myself every day. Remember I said stillness, prayer, reflection. That's really the only way you can cultivate peace. And then the acknowledgement that my purpose is what gives me direction, so I know which way I'm going because of my purpose. The ambition simply gives me fuel,
Mm-hmm.
but the peace is what keeps me from burning out.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's necessary
I
for
like
me.
that. Yeah.
It's necessary for me. So I try to move with intention, not frenzy in everything. Even today coming on the show, I was saying, okay, I see this traffic. I'm not gonna I'm gonna acknowledge my reality, but I'm not gonna make it out to be worse than what it is. I'm supposed to be on the show. I'm gonna log into the show. Like
Yep.
we don't have all this technology for nothing. I'll just pull
Exactly.
over. So, I do what I can to protect my energy, not
Yeah.
just my schedule. It's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
scheduled to do
Mm-hmm.
this, but my energy could have gone left, and I don't want to do that. What good would I be on your show if my energy? Oh man, I'm just traffic is terrible, man, and I'm just life is horrible. All
No, we're
this
not
traffic
doing
is all
that.
terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No.
And
No.
and
No.
I and
No.
I no right. And although I really want all the wonderful things and I want all the best all the time, I make sure my ambition never outruns my alignment. I gotta be in alignment
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only, like, if anything gets out of pocket, that's how I lose my peace, is when I'm out of alignment. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
that's the key.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. With peace being your, it sounds like peace is your center for how you maintain all everything outside of that. And knowing,
Yes.
yes, when you came up before we started the show, knowing you were where you were, I too had to get to that place of, you know what, let's just keep it rolling. Everybody's here, everybody's good. Let's just keep it rolling. And getting to that place helped me to just like, okay, because you heard me trying to move, navigate this and move this around and move that
Yeah.
around. Like, no, just stay where we are and move forward and be at peace with it. So thank you for sharing that. Now, what advice rather do you have for men who are struggling silently, the ones who appear strong but are fighting internal battles? What advice would you have for them?
Can I be sarcastic?
Yes, of course. Go ahead, I'm waiting. I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead, I'm waiting.
The first thing I would tell those men, with love, is this: my brother, you are not a Marvel character. You're not Black Panther. You're not Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get extra points for suffering in silence. You know, looking strong, looking strong apart.
Yeah.
That's not strength. It's stubbornness dressed up as masculinity. Really, we all, we act like stoicism is the ultimate picture of masculinity. Like, if you can slap me in my face, step on my foot, and scream at me, and I just sit, I'm supposed to be masculine. And that's just not what it is. It's not what it is. Real strength is saying, yeah, I'm carrying a lot
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not feeling ashamed of it. It's honesty. So my item would be, stop trying to out tough your own humanity. You're a man, you're not a machine. Find
Mm-hmm.
one person you trust, a friend, a brother, a coach, so, somebody, and talk. Open your
Yeah.
mouth, man. Not be fixed, but to be heard. Because stress, you and me. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't get it out, you end up holding it in, and that's how men break. And secondly, stop believing that lie that vulnerability makes you weak. Weakness is pretending you're fine while you're sinning.
Ah.
Strength is saying I need support. And actually letting someone show up for you. And the last thing I would tell them, and this the part that I hope if they listen to your show, if they come on here because they get to see three beautiful women, and they get to do the thing that most men do, and they just stand around and look and don't say nothing. Can I get a witness? All right.
Amen.
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 More than that.
The last thing I would say is your pride is expensive. It costs you peace. It costs you purpose. And all the time, it costs you connection. You got to let that go,
Mm.
brother. You
Yeah.
can't heal in isolation. You can't. So my advice, put cape down, brother. Put it down. Put the cape down. You can be powerful and human. You don't have to be Superman. Just don't confuse silence with strength. Just because you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
quiet,
Yeah.
what silence will be, whereas
Yeah.
strength will build you up.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Gray, I was listening to a clip on one of the platforms, and the young man was telling his father what he needed from him. And the father
Mm-hmm.
would interject while the young man was talking, saying, "Well, you got clothes, you got food on the table. What else you want from me?" The young man was expressing his emotional need for his father.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave the father props because he says, "Son, what you're asking for from me, I know nothing about that. I'm willing to try, but I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to be tough, don't cry, tough it out, put food on your family's table, make sure everybody good, and that's it. I know nothing about the world that you're asking me about." So if
Mm.
a man was in front of you saying these same words to you, what would you say to that in response to that?
Mm. She making me work today, boy. I tell you, I'm gonna send Kiran an invoice. Um, yeah, that's a good one. That yeah, that's a good one. All right. I brother, first of all, I respect you because men want respect. That's what they
Yeah,
want. First
yeah,
of all, I
they do.
respect you. Most men never say what you just said out loud. Admitting I don't know how to do that doesn't make you weak. It makes you it makes you honest. It makes you honest. And honesty is the starting point for transformation. But then I would tell him something important. I would say your son isn't asking you to be perfect.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
asking.
Right.
He just wants you to be there. He doesn't need you to suddenly become some. He doesn't need a PhD in feelings. He just needs you to try. He just needs you to listen. He needs you to stay open. He needs you to show him that his emotions don't irritate you,
yeah,
that they don't intimidate you,
Mm-hmm.
and they definitely don't make you pull away. And here's the truth, brother. You can't give him a father that you were taught to be. That dude sucked. You have to give him the father you wish you had. It's
Right.
like I said earlier, nobody said those things to me. I'm happy to have been able to say that because no one was there to say those things that I wanted or needed to hear to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is okay that you don't know how this world works in that way. It's okay. You weren't raised with an emotional vocabulary. You were trained to survive, not connect. You can brother, you came up in a time you fall down and somebody will tell you, don't cry, stand up, shake it off. Men don't cry.
right, right.
So I would tell him to start simple. Ask your son, what do you need from me right now? Sit with him. Don't correct him. Don't toughen him up. Just listen.
Yeah,
One honest conversation at a time. You build a relationship. You'll get to build a
yeah.
relationship neither of you has ever seen before. I would tell
I
him you're not
love that.
failing. I would tell him you're learning. And your son will remember your effort more than your perfection because at the end of the day, at the end of it, a father doesn't have to know everything. He just has to show up with heart. And that's the world your son is asking you to enter. He don't need you to don't need on a dress and be Medea. He don't need that. To be tough, you still get to be strong, still get to be
Yeah.
stoic. Just shut up and listen to him. Show up. And you're capable of it. Even if nobody ever showed you, brother.
Mm. Thank
You
you,
do it
Dr.
down at
Gray.
the
That was
job.
amazing. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I knew you were gonna come with it. I knew you were gonna come with it.
Oh
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you, thank you. Oh my
that
gosh.
section
So
alone,
as
like I was
yeah,
gonna say
right?
that part alone, I need to clip that, send it to my ex-husband, my son. I might have to schedule them to
Clip
see
it.
you because
Clip
All the
it.
exes need that.
oh, that was so
All my
good.
Clip
exes
it.
and my future
Tell them.
exes.
I love that. That was so good. Oh my gosh, we
That
gotta
hit
have you
that
back
hit
for another
home.
episode. Gotta have you
Yeah,
back for another episode. Dr. Gray, we're about to
I
wrap
love
up.
it. I love to be
Yeah.
able to be sitting in a setting and everything. But
yeah.
if you've seen any of my video lately, I'm always in this seat. So this is actually fitting.
Yes. I've seen your videos, yes. And you mentioned even one of them, why are you always in your car? Like, cause you're busy, sir. You're always
I'm
doing stuff.
I'm
That's why.
yeah. I'm always right here. It's all the time.
So, Dr. Gray,
Yep.
before we wrap
Yep.
up, if you could share two or three of your affirmations that you use on a regular basis that you would should be willing to share with us today. Could you share a couple, please?
Two or three of my affirmations.
Yes.
The regular ones. The
Yes.
ones I say all the time. Whew. Boy, some of them I can't say on TV. Can't say all of them on TV.
Why not?
All right. Because they not safe for work. And that's NSFW. Um uh, let me let me PG and align with my reverend hood. Um I move in alignment with the most high, and everything meant for me flows toward me without force.
Mm,
That's good.
love that.
Um Another one, I honor my truth, I protect my peace, and I choose the highest version of myself in every situation.
Love it.
That was
And I'll give you
fantastic.
one more. I give you one more. I am evolving, I am expanding, and every challenge is shaping me into the man I'm destined to be.
Oh, oh yeah. Let's snap some fingers on that one. That one. Oh, my.
So clock it.
Dr. Gray, this has been one enlightening conversation. Thank you so much for investing in the AM affirmation space. We so appreciate
Anytime.
you. Yes, of course, of course. Being that this is all about International Men's Day, having someone such as yourself on this show is very important to us. So I'm grateful that you were able to come by, and we will definitely have you to come back. We have a scripture that we want to share, that Miss Clivia wants to share. And once she shares that scripture, I would like for you to share with our audience how they can contact you to have a conversation with you, a consultation, be a part of your programs, etc. So, Clivia, if you can share the scripture, and then we'll ask Dr. Gray, allow Dr. Gray to share his closing words with us, please.
Sure. And this scripture just relates to everything that we talked about. So it sounds to Psalms 46, verse 10, which says, "Be still
Hmm.
and know that I am God." Amen.
Thank you.
Be
Thank
still.
you. So, Dr. Gray,
Heck yeah.
how can we reach you? How can others reach you? What is it that you'd like to share with us before we go?
Let's see. What would I like to share before we go in closing? In closing,
Yes.
probably going to talk a little bit about the business. Probably going to talk a little bit about the podcast. Probably going to say something witty at the end now. Let's see. All right. All jokes aside. All jokes aside. Well, not all of them, because I'll probably have some other ones as we go. But I'm going to keep this brief. I do want to thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate the space. I appreciate the conversation and the intention behind everything you're doing here. It is amazing. Um, what we talked about today matters.
Yeah.
Men healing, emotional
Yeah.
intelligence, purpose, and ultimately the work it takes to actually thrive. It's not an easy thing to do. And so, and this isn't just a topic for me. This is my calling. Um, if anything I said today resonated with you, now I'm talking to the camera. Where's the camera at? Oh, there we go. If anything I said today resonated with you, if you're looking for guidance, structure, or a real conversation about becoming the best version of yourself, you can reach out to me directly. You can connect with me through my consulting company, the Aquaria Group, or through my coaching platform, the Billionaire Brain Trust. Um, that's where I offer one-on-one coaching, group programs. I have a group program that is that basically it's a lifestyle training walk. It's a spiritual walk. It's called the Gray Path. I have a success and development program called Success Brain. You can also tap into my podcast. I hope you do. I hope anybody who's listening taps into the podcast. It's called the Lifestyle Expansion Blueprint. And that's where I break down everything from mindset to spirituality to personal transformation,
Hmm.
and all from that grown man in real life perspective. Like I'm not playing games, kids. We're gonna grow up.
Yeah.
The easiest way to reach me is through my website, and that is everythingisgray.com, and that's probably on the screen. But I'll spell it because it's not spelled in the regular way because I don't really do anything regular. It's EveryThingisgrey.com. And if you noticed, I removed the Y because I'm sure I'm going to ask a bunch of questions in the session. And I put an extra I in there. So now you got three eyes or a third eye because we're gonna be guided by that. Um, on social media, you can find me at Everything Is Gray, spelled the same way, everywhere. And if you're ready to expand, ready to evolve, or just need a conversation to reset your direction,
Hmm.
reach out. I'm here. And again, thank you for having me, ladies. I appreciate it. This was powerful, and I look forward to coming back.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Dr. Gray. Absolutely. Thank you again. And one thing that we say at the end of every episode is you are your first priority. So act like it. With that being said, we will see you all on the next episode
Yes.
of the AM Affirmation Space. Peace and blessings to you all. Until next time. Bye bye now.
Bye.